Okay, well, I heard what you said, but I'm gonna give you a scenario. You got a girl who's competing in 2 weeks, going to a competition overseas, and she's been picked to represent the country, and she's under a lot of pressure. She has to look good. This girl, you look at her, you, George, and you can see that she is beyond reaching her goal in 2 weeks. It's almost impossible. And there is no way around it but to get her on stage in that shape. So you have 2 weeks, she's fat, or not fat, she's got fat, okay, she's got water, she's not in shape. But you've got 2 weeks and you're the nutritionist, you're the trainer, and you have to do it. So you want to tell me now, should she do cardio or she should not do cardio? Should you put her on 2 hours cardio a day? Or should she just do the 20 minutes? Or, should she also continue eating a lot of carbs all the way through or not?
Well, first of all, that girl, she would not be working with me. She won't be my client. Because if she was my client, she won't be freaking 2 weeks out and not ready to represent her country. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know a lot of people, they tell me the same things. And there's no way she's gonna look good. I don't care how much cardio she's gonna do or whatever. If she have only 2 weeks and she's behind, this is what you need to do. If you're not ready 2 weeks before the show, don't bother doing the show. It's not your trainer's fault, because I'm not gonna hold everybody's hand. This is what different between champion and chumps. You know what I mean? The champion will call me. I think he was in England, and he said, "Hey, George, man, I went to that restaurant. They don't have salmon. Can I have the steak?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, you're wasting $10 on a phone call. It's okay, we have the steak." But this is why he looked the way he looked. You understand what I'm saying? So, back to your question, honestly, I know she put you under a lot of pressure, and yeah, she probably need to do hours of cardio and stuff. But if I was you, I'll consider working with people like this again. You know what I mean? Make sense, you guys?
How low would you drop it?
Oh, like I said, in my case, because I have one kidney, and that kidney even, the bullet, went through it, so I have practically damaged kidney, so I had to drop it to a minimum, So what I'll do, in your case, probably I'll go a little less than 1 gram, for off season.
And for all the off season?
Yeah, I say the off season, and you know what you do? It's very, very cool thing that you should know, because I have a lot of argument with the chief staff in the hospital where I used to work and stuff, and this guy, he knows like the in and out about, your kidney function and everything. And I told him, you know what, I'm gonna use a little bit, branched chain amino acid. Those are the most important, or essential amino acid. He said, no, don't do that, don't do that. I said, well, I have a feeling that it's gonna help me, because, in order for you to get, for an example, 10 gram branched chain amino acid, you need to eat, like 8 to 10 ounces of meat. So why would I eat all that much meat and put the stress on my, my kidney, versus, just take 3 ounces, you know what I'm saying, and add 5 gram branched chain amino acid. And believe it or not, I did this after they told me, man, 13 years ago, they told me I'm gonna be on dialysis. And I promise you, I just did my blood work, and it's still the way when they tell me I'm gonna be on dialysis 13 years ago. It's still perfect. I kept my kidney perfect by doing that. So they might disagree with you, but I'm telling you from trial, the branched chain amino acid saved my muscles and saved my life. Okay?
Hello, thanks for coming down, and George. This is a question for any sort of athlete. Like, how would you come back from, say, an injury, mentally and physically? Is there anything nutritionally that you need to do as well?
Well, it's all depending on where the injury is. I mean, if you injure your quads, for an example, I'm not gonna let you go and start doing legs. But what we did, we had problem actually heading to the Olympia. And I told Kai, please don't tell anybody, because that's all what you need. You tell somebody I have an injury and they start looking, oh, yeah. No. You know what? We had a little bit of injury, I think, in your hamstring, right? Doing the treadmill. He goes, oh my God, something happened. I said, Kai, don't worry about it. Just if something, if something is hurting you, back off. And we did, and you know what? We went with no problem. But if you have a major injury For an example, you hurt your right shoulder. My suggestion is keep on going to the gym, but don't train that right shoulder. You know, instead you still have the left shoulder healthy. Train on one side, believe it or not. Don't go as heavy, but train on one side because, you know, as we all know, the brain sends the same signal to both muscles. So if you train the uninjured side, your injured side is still, believe it or not, keep the size, then losing it completely. And the main, you know, it's actually more important to be on point for your diet when you have injury, because as we all know, you know, food it's the main thing for bodybuilding or for anybody, you know, as a human to get better. So yeah, you need to keep an eye perfectly on your diet. This is the time that you should actually watch it even more to make sure you're getting the, you know, the right vitamin, the right nutrient and everything so you can heal and rehab faster, okay? But anyway, I was going to a different country and he was going to France to guest pose. After I said, let's try the lightweight, you know, higher rep and stuff. And then a week later, I'm talking to him, he goes, man, what'd you do to me? I can't even walk to guest pose. I'm like, but that's when we found out that this is what really triggered his muscle, you know? And he improved so much since his glutes and everything, the hamstring, I mean, just like take him even better and better. So what I'm trying to tell you basically is very hard to tell you how many sets and how many reps and stuff, because what works for me doesn't work for him. What works for him doesn't work for you. You know, when you read in the magazine, you know, I remember people, you know, telling me, oh my God, you have unbelievable arms. He said he do 30 sets. I'm like, holy shit, 30 sets. Okay, well, you do it, you have no arms. Because, you know, you'll overtrain them so quick, because I used to doing 8 sets for my arm, for an example. So that's why it's hard to answer this question. What you need to do is listen to your body, not to your trainer to tells you, yeah, I mean, your trainer, if he's smart, he will sit down and absorb and write down and see what really works for you. You know, from you telling him, man, I'm really sore. Holy, you know, that workout really worked or something. Not, and remember, you gotta like distinguish sore from being overtrained. You know what I mean? When you're overtrained, that means you can't sleep, your appetite is terrible, and then when you're sore, just to get that muscles worked out right, you're starving, and when you put your head, you know, to bed, boom, you sleep, you know, that's the difference. So you guys have to start listening to your body. If you don't listen to your body, there is no such a thing as secret out there. I'm gonna tell you, oh, you know, do this, do that, because Kai and Jay Cutler and Mo, me, no, it's not. Whatever works for each individual, I mean, every aspect, from food, protein, carbs, fat. How many times you guys, you know, you work with the guy, you're like, holy shit, this guy eat pizza all day, look at him, he's like 100 pounds, I don't understand it. And you know, if you smell the pizza, you gain so much weight. So every individual is different. And that's when it comes to workout, the same thing, you guys.